flawless.
Absolutely
Flawless. Absolutely flawless. That's what it's like when. Remember when we had trouble with our foundations in our house?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the whole of the kitchen fell through. We were saying to the basement.
Flawless. Oh, I see, because the floor had gone.
Yeah, you like those jokes,
I
don't
do
you?
like those jokes, yeah. You come up with them like on the hoof, on the cuff.
I do.
Yeah.
And it's time to
Pop open.
the beer.
What you got in there today?
London Pride.
London
Oh, it's the pride of London this
town.
week. Week tasting beer. The pride of London. What have we got here?
What's in that then?
Ops.
Ops, is it?
It's one of them where
Yeast.
they go. It's a smooth, distinctive malty taste with a rich balance of well-developed hop, unique yeast taste, impressively complex beer, which is funny because it just tastes like.
Yes. You remember when Donald Pleasance used to advertise Carlsberg Lager?
Carlenberg.
Carlsberg Lager?
Yes.
Well, you remember that?
Yeah. What did he do?
I don't know. He was bald. He's definitely bald.
Was it definitely Donald Pleasance?
Oh, yeah, it's definitely Donald Pleasance. And he was, like, being all sinister. This is after he'd done Halloween, you know.
Oh,
And
yes.
so he'd done Halloween and he'd done all that stuff. And he thought, what's the next move I'd like to make in my career?
Yeah.
I think I shall advertise Carlsberg now. It's like very similar career path to Winston Wolfe, you know.
Oh, God, I hate those. Winston Wolfe. Hey, I'm Winston Wolfe.
Winston Wolfe, yeah.
God, that's awful, isn't
And
it?
he
that
thought,
effort?
I've done Mean Streets now.
Yeah.
But he didn't do Raging Bull.
Yeah.
I've done the piano.
Footloose, he done.
Footloose, he done. Porky's, he done.
Lemon Popsicle.
Yeah, but he's had to wait, you know, till he was 70 years old now
Yeah.
to get to the pinnacle of his career
Yeah.
and do that car insurance stuff.
I think that about, what's his name, Jim Broadbent.
Oh,
Does
yes.
some wonderful thing.
Beautiful
But
work.
presumably his wife pushes him out the door and says, you know, could you
we
do
got
those suppository adverts he does on independent radio?
I don't think I've ever heard that.
Oh, yeah.
How'd they go? Hello, I'm Jim Broadbent. Stick this up your bum.
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, it's when that wonderful actress, Julia Roberts,
Oh, yeah, she's so
Sleeping with
good.
the
She was so
Enemy.
good in the Pelican Brief.
wasn't she good
She
in
was
that?
so good in the Pelican
but
Brief.
honestly, I only need her to tell me about that gooch cream.
Oh, yes,
And I
yeah,
am,
you go and
you
buy
know,
that by the
I've
truckload.
I've watched her in everything.
Yeah.
I've watched her in Pretty Woman, Ugly Woman,
yeah.
fairly attractive but
Woman.
nice personality woman.
yeah.
Look shouldn't even be an issue, woman.
Runaway Bride.
Runaway Bride.
The Stay-at-Home Bride.
Stay-at-home bride.
The Cooking Bride.
The cooking bride. She's won Oscars.
Oh,
she's won BAFTAs.
She's won Emmys.
She's won
Grammys.
Grammys a lot.
She's
But
won it all.
only when she got on LBC telling me how to put 2 fingers in a pot of cream, rub it on the gooch,
gooch.
for instance,
Smooth it over.
smooth it over. My name's Julia Roberts. Smooth it over your gooch. P.S. I was in Pretty Woman.
Oh, yeah. What about Pelé?
Pelé the footballer.
Yeah, and he done them knob adverts for
Well-
keeping your knob up.
First of all, he was the youngest ever player, 17 in the World Cup final.
yeah.
The man has transcended sport.
Oh, yeah.
But it's only when he got on telly.
And he started telling us to take these pills to
your
counteract your winky
Winky.
going soft.
Yeah. that
That's when I
took him
really
seriously.
thought, oh yes, sir.
Yes.
Now I can revisit all your goals you scored
Absolutely.
with a new perspective.
Perspective on the man. A new perspective.
perspective.
Talking of medical problems.
Oh, yeah.
In the Daily Mail online.
Oh
which
right, that
you-
reliable rag.
You know, I like to read it. Wonderful, wonderful thing. This is true. Did you see? A doctor extracts a 16-foot long worm. A worm from a man who loves sashimi,
Oh, gee.
which is Chinese mutt. He was a fan of raw beef.
Oh.
Chen, 45.
Hold on a minute. So he's a fan of sashimi and he's a fan of raw beef.
Yes, but he's not a fan of having a 16-foot worm lodged up his bumhole.
You don't know that. You don't know that. Where in the article does it say he just likes having the worm up his bumhole?
I assume he's had it removed, so he wasn't...
Well, no, that could have just been... He could have come to the end of his cycle.
Oh, that was... Because you remember when you had that...
oh, yeah.
Was it a tapeworm?
Well, yeah, I think it was an earthworm.
Yeah.
It was an earthworm. I had a... you remember that film Tremors?
Yes.
Yeah, it's very similar to that.
Right.
And I had one of them up my bum. And it was like... But it was an earthworm, you know? And I tried to get rid of it, you know, but you had to get up really early, you know.
To catch it out.
To catch it out, exactly. So in the end, I thought, how am I going to do this then? How am I going to get round this one, you know?
Would you coax it out?
Because I was busy and I had things to do and I didn't have time to, think about how I was going to pull this big worm out my bum, you know.
Yeah.
So in the end, I went down to the pet shop, bought myself a chaffinch and I just stuck that in my pants. And then, yes. And every morning, you know, he was there poised.
The chaffinch.
The chaffinch. And then when the worm stuck its head out my bum, it just wallop got hold of it and just
tugged it out.
Sucked it out eventually,
Well, eventually.
In the end, the chaffinch, I sat on it, unfortunately.
Oh.
It had already done its job by then.
Right, so you killed two birds. Well, one bird and a worm with a stone.
That's it, with my bum.
With your bum. I had, do you remember when I had that worm up my, well, it was up my anus.
I remember that.
And it was giving me all sorts of shit.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I mean, remember we went out to Pontins that holiday and I had my trunks on and all that.
Oh, no, they were quite tight, them
They
trunks.
were quite tight, so I'd be chatting to other holiday makers. We met Reg and Sandra, remember, from Carl Shelton. And I was trying to make a good impression.
Yeah.
They'd done the holiday camp up, I remember. I said to Margaret, it's gone proper pop.
Oh, yeah.
Bought these tight Speedos.
What, in celebration of the fact that Pontins had gone posh, you thought, I better get myself something a little bit more in keeping with my environment.
When one goes on holiday, on a posh holiday, one likes to parade round the swimming pool, which I did.
I know.
Chatting to Reg and Sandra, to my horror, this tapeworm thing decides it too wants to enjoy the leisure facilities.
The cheek of it is that worm had got into Pontins for nothing. For nothing. Like riding on the back of your bum.
Well, I looked in all the literature. Haven Holidays, Butlins, Pontins were doing a very good offer. Okay. 2 kids, because we had the 2 kids in them days. My Margaret and me. Absolutely no mention of anything hiding up your bumhole. No. Now, if you read in the small print, no doubt it would say no tapeworms, no anal, ticks. No nicks, no nothing.
But I mean, I've never got any cause really to put that in a small print.
Probably not.
No. It's a given that you wouldn't bring those things into Pontins.
Well, exactly.
Yes.
This worm, there was a barbecue that evening round the pool.
Okay.
I am chatting to, Sandra, she's a lovely lady.
Oh, Reg and Sandra.
To my horror, this, what I can only describe as a tapeworm, starts
wiggling,
coming out.
And you're thinking, oh, not here,
not
here, not now.
Yeah.
I'm in my new trunks. There's a barbecue going on. I'm with Reg and Sandra.
That's right.
This is the last thing I need.
Yeah. And I was very, very embarrassed. You could see it sticking out
at the front of your trunk.
The back of my trunks.
The back of your trunks. Right.
What I can only assume everyone round the Hawaiian pool thought that I
got a backward penis.
Yes.
Hanging down your bum.
Yeah, it was terrible. It was wiggling around this thing.
Oh, dear.
There were mothers getting their children out the shallow end.
Oh, yeah.
Running inside.
How long was this thing?
Well, it had pushed the outwards. It was quite, they were an acrylic thing.
Oh.
And they pushed it right out by about 3 foot. This thing like tent-like. was coming out the back of my pants.
It would all be wiggling.
It was wiggling around.
Yeah. It frightened the life out of people.
Oh, it frightened the life out of people.
Something out of a David Cronenberg film.
Yeah. In the end, I said to my I'm going back to the chalet. Yeah. I went back. She got, it was like a burger thing.
Oh, right, off the barbecue.
After the barbecue, yeah. She made her excuse. She came back and she sort of dangled it over
your back.
Up popped. I give him a name, Harry.
Yeah.
Took it back.
Well, he's gone back in again.
He's gone back in. I lowered my speed.
Little shit.
Little shits. I thought, I've given you a free holiday.
And a free burger now. Yeah. He's starting to take the piss out of me.
He's come all the way to West Sussex. Yes. He's had a free burger. He's enjoyed He's been down to... We had bingo most nights in the ballroom that she enjoyed.
Yeah. And he shouted house out of the back of your bum.
He shouted house. Who said that?
Oh, no, don't worry, no. False alarm, mate. I'm sorry about him.
Yeah, but of course the worst one was you and that.
Oh, cool. Well, remember when I went up to... I've gone up the Arctic, and
I remember.
And I don't know what I was camping up there. I was doing some research up there for the weather patterns and just to see how much global warming has impacted us and all that stuff, and and picking up like bags and stuff. And so I'm up there, and I thought, and it was very snowy up there on the tundra, and we was down by the coast with all the penguins and all that stuff,
Nice.
And where's there's penguins, there's otters,
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I'm sat there, I thought, it's nice and warm here. I was dipping the sea, the Arctic Ocean.
Yeah.
And I thought, I stripped down.
Oh, sorry, carry on.
So I stripped down, and I stripped down. I thought, oh no, look, I'll take all my clothes off.
Yeah.
So I took all my clothes off, and I thought, I've got all my clothes off. It's actually very cold up there,
it would be.
Very cold, and I don't know if I should get in that water.
Yes.
So I went down on all fours.
Christ.
And I just got my little fingers and stuff. I thought, I'll just test the water, see how cold it is.
Yes.
Well, I stuck my finger in the water, and as I'd done that, this otter must have just come up behind me.
Oh, God.
And it went right up my bum.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
And I was obviously I was embarrassed about it.
Yes.
And I thought, what am I going to do? I got up my bum. And I thought, the best thing to do is probably just put my clothes back on.
Yes.
Walk back to the research centre and don't say nothing about it.
Right. Right.
Anyway, I had it up there for a couple of days, and I was on the plane flying back, still wiggling about, and that. And I could feed it, and I had to feed it some plain food because it's getting hungry.
Yeah.
All
the crackers and cheese.
Yeah, all the crackers and the cheese and the little yoghurts you get. I gave it all to him. Yeah. I thought, this thing is starting to cost me money now, and that's no good. So I get home, and I thought, right, I'm going to have to get rid of it, I'm afraid. And I don't really know how you go about it. I'm not going to go down to A&E, am I?
Cool.
I'm not going to go down there and say, look, I thought I'll take care of this myself. So I had a word with my mate Terry, because he's an Eskimo.
I know that, yeah. He's an Inuit.
Yeah, he's an Inuit, Eskimo.
An Inuit.
And he's, I said, listen, I've got to get rid of these hot out of my bum. Yeah. Any way you can help me? He said, yeah, don't worry about it. So he comes round on the Saturday, and he says, right, you're going to strip down your pants. So I stripped down my pants, and I lay on the bed, and he pulled my pants down.
Yeah.
And I'm laying on the bed, and he sat there with a fishing rod.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, over my bumhole.
Right.
Like, for 2 days. And then eventually the otter just stuck its head up, and he just swiped it, bang, pulled it out.
Oh,
yeah.
Right.
Oh, it's quite...
Thank God.
Thank God he was here. Thank God I knew him.
Because, it takes me back, because I remember when we was at school, we had all these books, the tribes of Africa, what they do, their skill.
Amazon.
One of them was in the Amazon. One of them was the Icelandic Eskimos. Building an igloo.
Oh, yes.
Going out hunting with spears and getting otters out of bums, which was always... nowadays...
when would you ever need to learn that skill, But
thank God for terror,
exactly, and because a lot of these skills are getting lost now.
Oh, God,
a lot of these old tribal skills, that people have are getting lost. So,
most definitely.
Terry will pass that skill down to his boy.
Yes.
Derek, and how to fish a otter out of someone's bum, and hopefully Derek will pass that on to his boy.
Well, this is the thing with my Margaret. I've said a lot of these skills are going. They're disappearing.
Well, we're losing them. We don't need them no more. What with the internet and wire.
You don't. And angling shops and what have you.
You've got.
But my Margaret, for many, many years, of course, she's done a lovely... She does her cheese, her homemade cheese.
Oh, she makes her own cheese.
Makes her own cheese. And, she puts it in that nice gauze.
Yeah.
And she puts it just under one of her boobs. And it sits there...
About 6 months.
For 6 months. Now, when I first met her, I was appalled. And she said to me, look...
Raspberry. I make my own cheese.
And she lifted up her boob, you see. Now, of course, at first I was appalled.
Yeah.
It was a blue vein thing with some walnuts on it.
And what was the cheese like?
That was a Carefully. So anyway, this cheese wrapped up in some gauze.
Beautiful,
Beautiful cheese come Christmas.
Was you a little bit apprehensive about tasting the cheese that had been resting under her boob for 6 months?
It's the perfect condition. But my point is, these are the skills that we are losing.
Lost. Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
So she kept that under one knocker and then under the other. Oh, she does it.
Male.
A male, she does. A lovely male under. So occasionally I say to her, the cheese is coming on. Any male? And she goes, there's that. And she lifts it up.
Yeah, tax return or whatever.
Yeah, a couple of pizza delivery bits.
Yeah. Junk mail.
No, that's around the other corner. But so you are losing these skills, you see.
We are losing these skills, very much so.
Very much so.
Very much so, losing these skills. Yes.
I mean, for a long, long time, I've done all my own toe surgery.
Oh, did you?
Oh, God,
all your own toe surgery.
I mean, I've done if I've got an ingrown toenail and all that sort of stuff.
A chisel on it.
I get a chisel because I was taught the kids they don't learn it. They go off. They've got all the degrees in the world.
Absolutely, yeah.
There's a lot I can do. I did toenail surgery.
Well, I fell off that wall when I had full frontal lobe damage.
I do remember, that was shocking.
But no, it was hard at the time. But luckily, I'd learnt them skills.
Because your dad told you.
Because my dad showed me how to sew my brain up, remove little bits of it with a knife. Yeah. And I was able to do the same thing on myself. Yeah. And if I ever have kids, I will pass that.
Good for you.
Yeah, pass that skill on to them,
Yeah. Well, good. I mean, my dad, of course, he had his shed and
all that stuff in there,
and all beautiful.
Man cave.
Hand-turning wood and all that sort of stuff. He had a lathe. It's a lovely bit of metal work there. Cars, old car engines.
Yeah, old bits and bobs.
But he'd very often take me in there in his man cave.
Oh, yeah.
And he would teach me religiously every weekend how to rack up in alphabetical order all his dirty books.
Oh,
and that is something.
Categorise
Razzles, go to your Escort, Club International, Mayfairs, and these are the skills.
We are losing
We're
these
losing
skills.
I never touched the lathe, but I do know my way around a Fiesta.
Lathe.
Yeah.
But yes. It's a real shame that we're losing these skills. Well, the fact is we don't have the printed words so much no more. You don't need those skills. You don't need those skills. I mean, nowadays a bloke's shed would just be like a shed and a desk and a computer and a box of tissues, I'd have thought.
Well, yeah, and, we are losing them.
We're losing these skills.
Losing
these skills.
I mean, you talk about the printed word.
I do talk about the printed word.
I know you do.
Quite a lot.
And I wish you wouldn't, because it's very old-fashioned.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, I say the printed word, but, I mean, that's on the way out, isn't it? The printed
very much
word.
So. Very much.
I mean, the Bible's even on the internet now.
Yeah, that's blasphemy. We don't go near there. This is the printed word. This is an unknown civil servant.
Oh, yeah.
Did you see? This is also in the font of all right-wing knowledge, the Daily Mail. An unknown civil servant has been caught heading towards today's cabinet meeting.
Oh, my God.
And they always do. You can see what he's carrying. In his briefing notes.
Yeah.
And it's apparent.
Well, I saw that, the other day when, George Osborne.
Oh, I know.
Yes, he runs the budget and that,
The budgets,
the budget. And he'd gone into number 10 with, all of them papers under his arm. I'm very serious. I've got some things to do, And he'd gone into number 10, and I zoomed in on the telly with my magnifying glass, and I saw on his documents, there's all these 0898 numbers. No, it weren't filthiness. It weren't filthiness, because I rang them up.
Yes.
And what they was like tarot cards and fortune people.
Oh, is that
that's what he's done.
Good God.
And he's been ringing gypsies up.
Yeah. Good God. Yeah, and asking them to say, sort out the budget for him. Oh God,
yes,
really?
Yes, she has.
Are you telling me the fix we're into
is because
of them gypsies who are parked up in West Watford on the
I don't know.
Carriageway?
I don't know if it's them specifically. No, but it's like he's been getting a lot of advice from them people on 0898 numbers. You turn over tarot cards and tell him, yes, you should probably cut something from there and you should probably stick it in there.
Really?
And
buy more pegs,
and then stick some more stuff in there and all that. And he's been going, okay, that's what I do then,
So it's like reduce interest rates, increase mortgage rates, and burn some tyres in the field.
Burn some tyres, nick a couple of washing machines.
Yeah. Oh, well. Oh, God.
Dear.
Well, no, when I saw, I was disgusted.
Was you?
Oh,
unlike
God.
you, it's unlike you. You're usually unshockable.
Very liberal.
Very liberal. Blimey, not half.
The last time they had an expose like this, they had Michael Gove.
Oh, yeah, I like him.
Michael, isn't he good?
Oh, he's a very good looking man.
He was ever so good in Britain's Strongest Man, wasn't he?
Yes, he was. Yeah.
So Michael Gove comes out of number 10. He had his briefing papers.
Right.
So, of course, sure enough, I had a magnifying glass like you.
You zoomed in.
I said, pause that now, because we got Virgin Media. She paused it. What's this, Barry? No, never mind that now. Just pause it.
Pause the video.
So I got up, and I went out, and I got my magnifying glass. Magnifying glass. I went up close to it and I thought, what on earth is going on? There were some briefing papers about Ofsted.
Okay.
About the kids, about education. That's his thing. And to my horror, he's drawn a monkey cock and balls of official government paper.
Is it what Gove's? Well, he's in municipal schools, isn't he?
Well, that's de rigueur.
This is what it is, yeah.
And but I was disgusted because
you should have been, yeah.
These people, we pay them an awful lot of money not to be drawing
cocks and balls, on government paper. A lot of money, in fact, not to do that.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, I was watching one of them come out of government the other day.
Come out of government, yeah.
Yeah, and I thought he had his official briefing papers under his arm, and I thought, stop the video,
Yeah, stop
the video.
Got your
my magnifying glass.
There's out.
Got that out of my pocket, and I had a look there, and I thought, what's this on his briefing papers?
Yes.
And it wasn't his briefing papers at all.
What was it?
It was his briefs. He's coming out of number 10 with an old pair of pants under his arm, like Paisley ones. And I thought, what's going on there? And then I thought, no, that's fair enough. He's probably stayed the night there. They've had to work late, and he's probably just had a pair of pants. He's had to take his pants with him because, if he knew he was going to sleep over, maybe he spent the night there and they had a midnight feast and they watched Prometheus or something, and he just changed his pants and going to go home now.
There's only one set of people who do less work than the MPs. Yeah. Quite frankly, that is the weather.
The weather
people. They've got the temerity to stand there every morning, as you say, like the MPs are paid a lot of money. Proper big TV stars.
Oh, yeah, big TV stars. And they're only on like 2 or 3 times a day.
Yeah. And do they ever get it right? No, they don't.
No, they don't. No. And when they go and get it right, they go, sure, it's the weather, isn't it? It's the weather.
But yeah,
so it's chaotic.
And I reckon they're all there. Michael Fish, Ian McCaskill.
Yeah, all that lot. Yeah.
All that lot, Ulrika Johnsons.
Yeah.
I reckon they're getting an absolute fortune.
They
do
get paid a fortune.
They do. And I reckon they'll go, they'll
have a drink up.
Drink up. Yeah. They're all at it. On the bed. They're all... doing all that. They've got Chris Herbert.
Forever blind. Bubbles.
Cheese and wine. Come over here, Margaret. Let's have some more cheese. It's a party. Next morning.
And then they all get together and go, okay, what's going on with the weather tomorrow? All right, it's raining in Scotland. Everyone's still on the same page. Otherwise, one of us is going to look like a right dickhead.
Wake him up. Get his face out of those crisps.
Okay, it's raining in Scotland. Bit of wind in Wales. Bit of snow in London. And then that's all we need. That's as far as we'll go.
Who's the least pissed who can go on? A Carol would go. She's well like that.
Well, she don't drink, do she?
No, she don't. She don't.
Lucky they have one of them that don't drink.
That's part of it. They have to.
They have to have someone.
But they get on there and it's going to be like this. Yeah. And so you're getting ready for work.
Yeah, putting your rain mac on.
And you go, and at the end of the day, you can't remember whether they got it right or wrong.
Exactly, and that's how they get you.
And that's how they get you.
Because you don't know. Don't know. And you always go, they said it was going to be hot today. No, it's not hot today. Well, next time it isn't hot today, when they said it's going to be hot today, I'm going to have a word with the trade descriptions people.
Oh, really?
Yes, I'm going to go to trading standards.
Yes.
And I say, listen, I've been sold down the river here.
Yes.
I had a big modelling assignment, so I thought, I'll wear no top.
Yeah.
And then it's like pissing down with rain all day.
Yeah.
I lose a lot of money.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's what these people are like. And they're
frauds. They're charlatans.
Absolute
I reckon
fraud.
they just get a load of old chicken bones and wave them in the fire.
And go, it's going to be squally showers.
It's going to rain, I reckon.
Yeah. That's what they do. They're all banging away, isn't they?
Banging away.
They're terrible. Now, the other thing I wanted to just mention, because I know you've got form with this, also from the Daily Mail.
Oh, is it the Daily Mail? Okay. Yeah.
All the best stories of it. Teenage fraudster pretended to be a millionaire to swindle investors. He's been ordered to pay back £26,000.
I wonder if he's going to be able to pay that back.
He'd probably just pretend to be...
Get a student loan.
Yeah,
probably. Student loan.
26 grand. He swindled 110 grand.
Well, that's not bad. Then he's made a profit. He's come out on top.
Not bad.
Well, you have to admire the expert.
His name's Sam Cook, 19. He pretended to be... Not Sam Cook.
Someone else.
Because you pretended to be people to get in.
Well, of course, you have to pretend to be people to get into places.
Remember when who do you pretend to be?
Judi Dench.
Yes.
Yeah, I pretended to get in. I pretended to be Judi Dench so I could get into the premiere of the film.
Parenthood.
Right.
Was it Parenthood 2?
It was Parenthood 2,
Yeah.
yeah. So I said, look, they said, and I went up the red carpet and that, and
Judy is sporting.
Yeah, Patrick Monahan, Dominic Monahan.
Patrick Monahan, the stand-up comedian.
Yeah, not him. Dominic Monahan.
Oh, he was there.
Yeah, he come up and said, Judy, can I have a word?
You thought
I
result?
said, blimey, I'll crack it. Right, I've got to pull this off. And he went, he said, are you looking forward to the film? And I went, oh, yes, I'm looking forward to the film.
Bloody hell, that's uncanny.
Yeah, I know. I said, oh, yes, I'm looking forward to the film. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And then he said, what's your favourite film? I said, and I thought, oh, blimey, I'm in trouble here because, I don't want to get this wrong. So I just off the cuff, I winged it and I went, Raid on Entebbe.
Yes.
Because I'm pretty sure she'd be a fan of that.
Yes.
And he went, oh, yeah, no, good film. Yeah, Charles Bronson, yeah. And then I just, in my dress, I just swanned off into the Parenthood.
And you would have got away with it if it wasn't for that worm that came out
your bum. Yeah,
and
someone trod on it.
That's on the red carpet.
Yeah. Otherwise, I would have got in.
Yeah. Well, I've got in.
Oh, yeah, you'd be loads of people, wouldn't you?
Do you remember when I pretended to be Matt LeBlanc?
I do remember
off
that,
of Top Gear and Friends.
Yeah, I remember that.
And episodes.
Yeah.
And I went. Do you remember? It was a top Hollywood thing.
Yeah, but it was just to do something quite innocuous, wasn't it?
It was to open Watford
that's right.
Leisure Centre. They had a new Kung Fu suite.
Yeah.
And they had the Mayor of Watford there. And
a new Kung Fu suite, blimey, they wouldn't get someone star-studied for that.
And so I got Margaret to say, you phone up and say, I can get you Matt LeBlanc and some cheese.
I'm his agent.
And so I turned up. I said, hey, man, I'm Matt LeBlanc. I've done all these catchphrases.
Yeah, you turned up in the car, I've done a donut.
Yeah. And I said, I'm
Matt LeBlanc.
Yeah, hey, man, I'm Matt LeBlanc.
Oh, hello, Matt LeBlanc. We'd like you to come and open our new Kung Fu suite.
That's it. I had a wig and everything and all that on. I wore some cowboy outfit,
I had a full shot.
Proper American.
Yeah, all tassels dangling off you.
All dangling off. I said, I had all these catchphrases.
Oh, right.
Friends,
I
went.
Yeah. I'm a mate of Chandler.
Yeah, I went, Chandler. I can't remember if it's his brother or his mate. I just went, Chandler.
Yeah, Chandler.
Friends, I went like
that's
that.
It.
And
Top Gear.
Top Gear, I went, episodes.
They pay you for that, don't they?
I got in.
You got in the Kung Fu suite.
I got a Kung Fu suite.
And when you got in there, what was they serving like?
Well, I had canapes and that. And because it's Chinese,
you take your own tins in?
I did. I had a couple of tins. And I went round. I had to keep it up for a while. I was like, friends.
Yeah, Chandler Bing.
Bing, I went like that.
Episodes,
And in the end, I got away with it.
Right.
And I've tried it. I mean, remember when you went as Barbara Windsor? If it wasn't for your beard.
Oh, yeah, I would have really pulled that off if it wasn't for my beard.
The Buckingham Palace garden party you went in?
Yeah, I went there. I got fitted for a beautiful pastel dress.
Yeah, George,
beautiful.
Yeah, beautiful.
George, they come round, they fitted me, and I thought, right, well, if I can pull the wool over George's eyes, George from Ash's eyes, then I could probably pull it over the Queen's eyes as well, And they fitted me for this beautiful three-piece pastel number, and I had it all on and that, and I had my high heels on, and I sort of wiggled down the road, going like that,
That's what she does.
That's what she.
And then you go,
and I'll get to the gate. She said, yes, I'm Barbara Windsor.
Yes.
And I said, are you sure you're not Judy Dench? I said, no, I know I'm Barbara Windsor.
Yeah.
And then I had my head down, and I just looked up at the last minute, and they grabbed hold of the back of my pastel dress, and pulled that down. They pulled my... pulled my pastel dress down. It was sure I was wearing Superman boxer shorts.
Oh,
and they said, hold on a minute.
Yes.
Barbara Windsor wouldn't wear these. She'd wear knickers,
Yes.
And then they saw my beard and they said, like you, innit?
The other one, they went,
That's it. And then the worm came out of my bum.
Yes.
And then they thought, this is definitely not you, Barbara.
You say, not this worm again.
Yeah.
We managed to stop this fella getting into the cinema before, you know, and that worm has been the bane of your life getting into top places.
Yeah. I mean, if it wasn't for that worm, I'd have got into a lot of these big places, you know. I'd have got into the UN, the Hague.
Yeah,
but, you know...
I mean, back in the old days, I mean, the glory days, you know, people like Clark Gable... Gable and all that. All the 50 stars, very handsome.
All the tashes.
I would always pretend to be them. Yeah, I got into all sorts of places that
beautiful.
way. And I used to take Margaret, pretend she was Marilyn Monroe.
Oh, did you?
Sort of thing. I go...
drag her in by the horn.
Drag her in, and I say, this is Marilyn Monroe. Do the song. Boo boo pico, you know, and
happy
they go,
birthday to you. Happy birthday, Mr. President.
Yeah, she would do all that, and they go, "Are you really Marilyn Monroe?" And you know, I'd say, "Well, you know, the cameras change your appearance in real life.
They put £20 on you, and they put a horn on your head and a tail."
And I said, "Okay, Marilyn." Of course, she didn't have that big chin and all that neck fat. You don't see that in the film.
No, you don't, because they airbrush it out.
That's right. But I said, you know, originally it wasn't called Some Like It Hot. It was called Some Like It Fat. And, you know, so they went, oh, all right, you know.
Yeah,
but I got into many a kung fu suite in the 50s. Not half with
well, that's when it was getting big, wasn't
it? Getting very big.
Chuck Norris.
And, and in fact, she probably could have got into Chuck Norris more than Marilyn Monroe, really. Now, look, we're doing a show.
Oh, we're doing a show.
We're
doing a show on May the 13th at the Underbelly.
Yes.
Which is in the South Banks.
Yes.
And if you want to go and see the show, then book tickets at www.underbelly.co.uk.
I think so.
And then when you get on their website, just look up Angelos and Barry, and it should direct you all the way.
Proper show. Or go Live Nation.
Go Live Nation.
Go Live Nation.
They'll probably point you. Or write a letter to them.
Yeah, whatever. But do come 13th of May. And then we're on tour.
Oh, we're on tour. Yes.
And we should have had a list of dates. We're going Hertford. We're going where? Brighton.
We're going Mozambique.
We're
going Chad.
Switzerland.
We're going
Saturn. We're going all over.
Yeah, Birmingham as well. Nottingham.
Where are we going? Birmingham? I don't know. Going all over the place. But please come and see. That's in the autumn.
Oh, that's in the autumn.
Oh no, that's
yeah. But get your tickets now because it will sell out.
It will sell out.
Oh yeah. And this is going to be like a proper show.
We proper,
right in it, you know.
Yeah.
God help us. How
long have we done, Leon?
Leon just coughing.
Leon coughing. 40 bloody minutes?
Sorry about that.
Oh, that's enough.
Yeah.
That is enough.
Oh, blimey. Okay.
Dismissed.
Dismissed. Stand down, everybody. See you next time. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.